Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought that I would do another swatch and sip. I wanted to swatch all of the palettes that are still available with Nomad Cosmetics, one of my all-time favorite indie brands. If you're interested in just kind of laying back, hanging out, maybe having a drink, maybe having a snack, and hearing what my recommendations are along with all the swatches, then keep watching. Hey guys, so welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on my videos. So a couple weeks back, I did a swatch and sip on all my Pat McGrath Mothership palettes, and you all really liked that video, and I think that it's helpful because when I'm looking at purchasing a palette, I always like to see swatches, particularly on people that have my skin tone, maybe a little deeper, but for the most part, my skin tone. But in addition to that, somebody that has experience with the brand that can tell you like, hey, look, this one's good, this one's not, this formula was a little shaky, whatever the case may be. So I wanted to swatch all the palettes that are still available on their website. They did have a big Black Friday sale, and unfortunately, I just wasn't able to film for that. But if there are any promotions that are coming up for Christmas, like right before the holidays, if you want to buy a gift or want to treat yourself, then I'll definitely pop that in the description box below. So make sure and check that out. In any case, I do have a discount code with them, and it's Yadi10, and that will give you 10% off your entire purchase. And that's another way to save. Now, if there's a promotion going on, you will save a lot more going with that promotion versus my code, but I just wanted to put it out. During the video, I'll tell you what palette I'm actually wearing on my eyes today. I love this look. It's so different than anything that I think that I would put together, but you know, again, that's the beauty of what we're doing today. So I'll let you know what palette that is. Let me know if you've tried Nomad Cosmetics. Nomad is a brand that I discovered, I think, at the end, like at the tail end of 2020, and I've been obsessed ever since. In addition to them being a great brand with great products, the owners are just amazing. They're sweethearts, and so it's always nice to know that you're supporting a really good small business with people that have a good heart. So anyway, let's get into it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We're right in the middle, right in the thick of Vlogmas, and definitely like this video, share it with a friend that you think might like it or somebody that's been thinking about Nomad Cosmetics. Okay, let's get into it. Now listen, you can be snacking on whatever you're snacking on. You can be sipping on whatever you're sipping on. For me, I'm gonna have a glass of wine now. I promised myself. You're looking at this glass like, what is this girl's problem? I promised myself I would only have one glass. I've been working all day. I've been filming all day. It's been a week. So one glass means this. If you want to know, and just one glass, okay? If you want to know what I'm drinking, this is a wine that I just found like at my grocery store, and it's really delicious. It's maybe like at the midway price point, but it's a really nice one. It's the brand Dow. Obviously, they don't know that I'm talking about them, but this is a 2021 cab from Paso Robles. And you know, a funny thing, I was actually shopping at my grocery store, and I shop at the HEB store. It's new in our area, and I love it. And that's where I tried this wine, and I just, you know, went to go grab a bottle of the 2021, and they had another bottle, and it was like one of those like larger bottles, and it was a 2019. And I said, well, what's the difference? The larger 2019 bottle was only like $10, $15 more than this one. And I said, well, what's the difference? Like, they're the same brand, same type of wine, like what's going on? Aside from the year, what else is the difference? And so what she told me was kind of fascinating. And so she said that the 2019 was bigger, but it was at a better price point. It was more than this one, but it was larger because the 2019 was before the fires happened. Now, if you don't know, I'm from California. And then in addition to being from California, I am an insurance broker. And so a lot of my clients actually lost their vineyards in the 2019 fires that kind of wiped through Napa Valley. And so it was really interesting to know that. So the 2019 was like a true Cabernet, and it had those notes and whatever. But the 2021, in addition to having those same staples of a Cabernet, it has a smokiness to it. And I said, well, how is that? And she said, well, because the smoke or the soot gets into the soil. Everything gets into the soil. And so although it's still a beautiful Cabernet, whether you get a 2019 or the 2021, this one has a little smokiness to it. So it's really good. I'm not a wine connoisseur at all, but I do love wine. When I drink wine, it's always going to be usually the reds. I love the rosés as well, and and Chardonnays, but they have a lot of sugar. So it's mostly the reds that I drink. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. And also, like I said, I've been sitting here working all day and nobody to talk to. So whatever. Just indulge me, okay? Go grab yourself a bottle of the Dow. All right, so let's get into it. I did go through the Nomad Cosmetics website and I made sure that the palettes that I'm swatching today are still available for you. The last thing I want is to swatch it, make it look so beautiful, and then you can't get it, right? Aside from that, there are 2 palettes that I wanted to show you today, but they are sold out. And because they're older palette, well, one's an older palette, the other one's a limited edition, they're not bringing them back. And so I'm not gonna swatch them. I have videos on both so that if you have the palettes, you can go back and watch those for look inspos. I'll let you know what those are now. So the 2 that I am not going to swatch today, but again, I have videos for them and you can go watch those, are going to be probably, this is one of my favorite palettes that they've ever done. And I know exactly why it's sold out, but it's America's Parks. This one was released, I want to say like May of last year. You guys, it was so beautiful. I usually do 3 looks with each palette, but on this one, I think I did 5 looks because I just couldn't get enough. Like I had to put this palette away because I was using it so much. It's so good. But again, unfortunately, it's sold out. And if you have it, I have that video. I'll link it for you. The other one that sold out is the one that was released this year. It's a limited edition Santa's Village palette for holiday of 2022. And it was gorgeous. And I like that it was in the 9 pan, but I do appreciate the larger ones, kind of like, you know, the midi size ones like this. But it was a 9 pan. I did do a video on this with 2 or 3 looks, I believe, and I really like it. I thought it was a cute little palette to throw in, you know, the stocking, or just a cute little gift that you can give somebody that, you know, loves beauty in your life, whatever. I feel like on my channel, we talk about luxury beauty and indie beauty mostly, sometimes drugstore, but for the most part, it's luxury or indie. And I feel like little palettes like this are like such a gift because it is one of those things where like, it's not mainstream, so the person receiving the gift wouldn't necessarily know about Nomad Cosmetics, which I think is so special. But yeah, these are the 2 that are sold out, so we won't be swatching those today, unfortunately, but we can get started on the ones that are available. And I'm telling you guys, I have recently been inspired to do a palette declutter. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, there are just some brands that I will not dare whisper the word declutter to because they're that good. And I just love everything from every single palette. This is one brand that I will not be decluttering any palette from, and you'll see why. So I'm going to start from oldest to newest, or to most recent, if that's okay. I think what I'll do is I'll also put like timestamps down below in the description box. And what that means is as you're watching the video, you can kind of just hover over the timeline of my video and it'll show you like time cards, so that if you're not interested in a particular palette, you can skip ahead to what you are interested in. So I'll do that for you. The first one that we are going to talk about is the Nomad Land and Ice. Now, this is the one that kind of started my Nomad obsession. You guys, I died because for the most part, I had just started my channel like 6 months prior. And before I started my channel, or, you know, even 6 months before I started my channel, I was starting to buy a little bit more makeup. But before I started my channel, I didn't know a lot about makeup. I was the one that would buy like the one foundation. I would buy one eyeshadow palette. Honestly, I didn't even buy it. My mother-in-law would gift me the same palette every year, which I loved. And then I would buy one blush every couple years. Like that was me, really. I didn't really know about makeup. So much less indie makeup. And when we discovered indie makeup, my friend Kara and I, we lost our mind, you guys. We were like, oh my gosh. Like I always thought like brands that I didn't know about or that weren't mainstream or drugstore were just kind of like sketch a little bit. Not the case. So although they are indie, all it means is that they're independently owned, but the quality is unlike anything else that you'll find mainstream. And yeah, so this is where I was just like, I think I'm in love. I need everything that they've ever made. But this was it. And I have videos on all of these palettes, so I'll link them all if you're interested in one particular palette and you want some look inspo if you're going to purchase it. But that's what this one looks like. Let's get to swatching. Please hold. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I will just go down each row individually. that's how I will swatch. Let me zoom you in. There we go. Okay, I took off my bracelet just so we have a lot of room for swatching here. Iceland. That's what this palette is based on, and I love it. I mean, we were so obsessed. My friend Kara actually did a deep dive on Iceland as she was preparing for this video, and what we decided is in 2024, we're actually going to go. And we'll open it to some of our indie beauty lovers on YouTube or Instagram. Like, if you guys want to go, like, let's roll. But yeah, we just learned a lot about Iceland and it was so gorgeous. Look at those. So if you love something icy, but you want, you know, a good deepening shade, those are beautiful. As you know, Iceland, it's actually quite green, but they have the northern lights and they have like these hot springs and it's just beautiful. So these colors make a lot of sense. Okay, the first three shades, I'm just going to read them off to you because they're so cute. It's Frigg, God's Waterfall, and Lithium. And then the next are going to be River Glacier, the nice satin shimmer. And then we have Elves. This one was a really cute shade. It's almost like a little duochrome-ish. We have Elves, which is so cute. And then we have Nord. And those are the shades there. Fun fact about like the shade Elves. My husband's cousins, they actually went to Iceland. And one of his cousins has a picture with like a real life gnome. And I'm like, wait, what does that mean? Like, I didn't know they were real. And so it's just like this village with like a lot of little people. And it's just, it's marvelous to see like what the world has for us, you know? And I guess that's what I'll say about Nomad Cosmetics is all their palettes are inspired by their world travels. So like the name is very perfect, but it was just really cute. The next one is Hecla. So good. Such a nice orange. The next one is going to be Muzzlepine. And that one's like a burnt or fire orange. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, I need to use this again soon. The next shade is a shimmer and it's in the shade Hell. Not Hell like H-E-L-L, but H-E-L. Now we're going to go in one of my favorite columns, which is like the grungy palette, or the grungy column, but the first shade is Odin. So grungy, so pretty. Then the next one's a shimmer and it's Gallows Lava. Oh my God. I remember just loving this shade. I could not get enough. Gallows Lava. And then we have Dark Castles. Dark Castles. Look at what a beautiful undertone in that brown. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I love it. And the last one is more of like our jewel toned or, you know, more colorful shimmers. They're all shimmers and they're beautiful. The first one is Alpine. I don't know if I can fit it all here. I think I'll do the shimmers on the palm of my hand so that you can see. So the first one is Alpine. Alpine. Can see the shimmer there. It's so beautiful. The next one is Northern Lights, which is what we all dream of seeing when we go. Northern Lights. Look at how pretty. It captures that color that you would see in the Northern Lights. And then the last one is Valkyries. Valkyrie. Look at how gorgeous. So those are the jewel toned. So those are the palettes there. That's the last row there. And that's what this looks like. The Land of Fire and Ice. Absolutely gorgeous. The next palette is one that I didn't even know was coming. It wasn't like a new launch, but she just randomly mailed it to me one day and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. It's like a good staple palette. So I'm talking about the Nomad Cosmetics Venice Simplon Express. This is what they call a carry-on eyeshadow palette. It's really nice because just like the Santa's Village palette, it is a 9-pan, but look at those shades, you guys. It's like such a good staple palette. It really is. Again, I will swatch this way, going down. Okay, the first shade is called London. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, when I tried this, it wasn't even on my radar because it wasn't a new release. And I was like, oh God, this is gorgeous. There's a better look there. It's like a peachy, shimmery shade. The next one is called Roarin' 20s. Roarin' 20s. Look at that red. Are you kidding me? That is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous red. The next one is called Nightcap. Since the palettes are based on their travels, like, man, it looks like they had a nice trip. Nightcap. Look at the undertones of that brown. Isn't it gorgeous? It's so yummy. I love it. So in the pan, it doesn't look that deep. But again, I'm like medium complexion and look, it's actually a lot deeper than you would think it is. The next shade is called Baby Grand. And this is also such a yummy, like peanut butter shade. Look at that. Baby Grand is the name of that shade. The next one is special. It's a duochrome and it's called Venice. Venice. Look at that. That gold red flip. That's what I'm saying. It's like this is such an unassuming palette, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Do you see that red flip there? Oh, it's stunning. The next one is Grand Sweet. Grand Sweet. Such a beautiful, it's like a hunter green, but with a jade or emerald shift to it. It's also like a satin formula. Gorgeous. There are the last three. This one is called Bar 3674. And I'm just like, girl, I need to come on these trips with you. It seems like a really fun trip. Bar 364. Look at how yummy that champagne rose gold copper shade is. The next one is Bon Voyage. And I'll say about this Bon Voyage shade, it's a very unique blue in my collection. I don't think I have another one quite like that. It's gorgeous. And the last shade is Istanbul. All I can say is I wish I would have been there on that trip. Beautiful gold shimmer. And that is Nomad Venice Simplon Express. That's why I think these swatch videos are so important, because if I saw this palette, I'm just being honest, and then I saw the color story, I'd be like, meh, that's cute, that's okay, I like it. But in reality, it is probably one of the most wearable palettes on their website, and it's just gorgeous. Look at that. And the quality of the shadows is so good, you guys. Okay, the next one, along with America Sparks, which is sold out, was actually one of my top palettes with Nomad Cosmetics. And it's the one that was released, like, I think it was late last year, maybe early this year, but it's Nomad's Lodge or Whistler's Lodge, and it is just perfection. It's actually the palette that I'm wearing today. Look at how gorgeous that is, you guys. And again, I have videos with every single palette I'm showing today, except for the Venice one I don't have a video with, but everything else I'll link down below. But look at how gorgeous. Now, this is one of my favorite palettes, and this is a look here that I'm wearing that I have never done before, but I thought it was gorgeous. And so as I go through it, after I swatch it, I'll let you know how I created this look, but it's really pretty. It's actually going to be up on my TikTok, so go check that out. And again, I'll go down each row. So those are the first three shades. The first shade is called Ski In. That's Ski In, just a nice pearly champagne. The next shade, the gold, is called Berry Cool. Berry Cool, which is a funny name for a warm tone gold, but it's very cool. The next one is Gone Skiing. Gone Skiing. Such a gorgeous brown, you guys. I mean, for you indie lovers, you can appreciate the tones. The undertones in these browns are just incredible. Okay, now we have the next three shades. Look at how gorgeous. I just can't get over it. The first shade is Après Ski. Après Ski. Après Ski. Really, really nice color. You see this color a lot in nail colors for the summertime. It's beautiful. The next one is called Whistler, and it's a shimmer formula and just gorgeous. Look at that shimmer formula, like butter, like butter. The next one is a matte, and it's called Bucking Great. Bucking Great. And it's got like a moose or antlers on that one. Bucking Great. The next one is such a pretty color. This one's in Snow Bunny, like a frosty pastel blue. Oh man, I got it in the green. It's okay. You guys can still kind of see the color. There you go. That's the shade Snow Bunny. The next one is called Snowmad. Very appropriate shade name. Snowmad. Look at that blue. Ugh, the intensity of it is just amazing. The next one is Ski Bum. Now these lighter shimmers, guys, they are mighty, and it's a duochrome. Okay, you see blue, but you see lavender, and I'm talking about the last shade there. Not a lot of opacity, I guess, but they are mighty. The next one is called Powder Specialist, and just kind of looks white, but again, these shimmers, just incredible. That is Powder Specialist. The next one is called Black Comb. Black Comb. Look at that blue shimmer. Just gorgeous. And then the next one is called So Amused. Like so amused, but so amused. Look at that. Perfect. And the last row here is gonna be the red and like very deep shade. So we have For Fox's Sakes. For Fox's Sake. Like this really fiery red shimmer. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not a shimmer. It's a matte. Really, really nice. Kind of like a terracotta red, but it's really, really good. And then it's Up to Snow Good. They always do like this play on words. Up to Snow Good. Really beautiful shimmer there. And then the very last one is Ski Out. Ski Out. We Out. And it's this matte black. And Nomad Cosmetics, Unearthly Cosmetics, they make the most amazing matte blacks, you guys. But the magic of their black is that it looks scary. It's a very matte, it's very pigmented, but the moment that you like dip your brush in the pan and you start blending, it does not like turn the whole look black. Like for instance, I'm wearing black today and it was just to deepen up the look on the outer V, but it is so beautiful, so blendable, very easy to work with black. And so I appreciate that because I'm not an expert, and so I love this. Just to give you one final look, there is Whistler's Lodge. Whistler's Lodge. So pretty. Now I'll just tell you quickly what I have going on here. So in the crease, like all over the eye, I went in with Snow Bunny. You can kind of see a hint of that at the very top. And then on the outer corner, I went in with Gone Skiing. That's what I have on the outer corner there. And then on the whole lid, I have So Amused, which is like this really nice shimmery brown, kind of like a hot chocolate brown. That's literally what I think of when I see this brown, like a hot chocolate brown. And then I was like, let's do something a little more. And so then I went in with this one with Ski Bum. Okay, this is the shimmer that I showed you guys that had like that lavender flip to it. And I could not believe it, you guys. Go watch the TikTok on this because it was so good. Like I had like the whole lid with that chocolate, hot chocolate brown shimmer. And then I popped this on top and it was like, oh, the hot chocolate's gone. So that's why I mean, like, these shimmers are mighty. They're very strong, even though they don't look like they are. And then at the end, I went in with the matte black just to kind of deepen up the outer V there and make sure that everything kind of was cohesive. But yeah, that's Whistler's Lodge. Love it. The next one's really, really pretty. It came out earlier this year, and I think the way that I described it was just like a really romantic, like spring palette, and I just loved it. It's the FETE Provence. It's called an intense color palette, and it's just beautiful. It was designed on location, sipping rosé in Provence, France. So gorgeous. You can see like the little bees there, and that kind of reminds me. What I also like about Nomad Cosmetics is for every palette that they design and they launch, they do contribute 5% of the total sales to a organization or nonprofit that's in the location where they took inspiration from. So that's really nice. It's like they're giving back because they are taking inspiration from that place. So it's a good way to give back and to support those communities. So I love that. Those are the first 3 shades, and we're going to be going down like we did for the others. The first shade, oh, so pretty. This one's called Rosé. Rosé. So pretty. It's like a very pastel color, but not chalky at all. I am medium skin tone, so if it was chalky, it wouldn't work on me. The next one is Flûte à Corset, and it's like this very light shimmer. But when you pop it on top of like this rosé, for instance, it looks gorgeous. The next one is Vendange. 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 Look at that color. Oh my God, you guys, the undertones are extremely gorgeous. They're so beautiful. Okay, so the second row is more of like the peachy tones. I love it. Look at that. So pretty. So the first shade is called, it's a matte, and it's called Calisons. Calisons. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so soft and beautiful. The next one is a shimmer, and it's called Navettes. Navettes. And it looks gold, but it's got like this peach flip to it. It's really pretty. I don't think the camera's picturing it or capturing it, but it's really nice. The next one is a shade, a matte called Macaroons. It looks really similar to the first vibrant matte that we saw, but as you can see, it's totally different. Really, really pretty. This as a one and done, or this like kind of all over the lid and just smoke it out and then pop a shimmer on top. So gorgeous. The next shade is one of my favorite. It's the yellow row. The next row, I should say, not the next shade. And the first one is a matte, and this one is Champs the Tournesol. Tournesol. Look at that yellow, you guys. It's so pretty. It's like definitely a pastel yellow, but it's so gorgeous. It doesn't look ashy, and I'm like, How do they do that? Like, you would think that something that color would look ashy on me. The next one is Flor de Mimosa. Flor de Mimosa. This yellow is a duochrome for sure. It doesn't always swatch or show that way, but it is so gorgeous, you guys. Also, because of the formula, this is the one that, the kind of shimmer that looks wet on the lid. It is just insane. And then the next one is Miel de Lavande. That's like honey of lavender. So maybe the honey that the bees make from the lavender flower. But it's Miel de Lavande. Look at that yellow. It's like a mustardy yellow, but it is incredible. These yellows are gorgeous. The next one is the purple row, which is also just so beautiful. We have Champs de Lavande, Champs de Lavande, Champs of Lavender. And again, it's more of this pastel-y soft purple, but look at how gorgeous and vibrant that is. That's incredible. The next one is Savon de Marcel's. Savon de Marcel's. Look at that. It's a shimmer formula, but look at how pretty. On its own, you could literally just use this as a one and done shade. The next one is March de Provence. The March of Provence. And it's a matte, and it's just incredible as well. It looks patchy, but that's just my skin. It's not the shade. How pretty. And then the last row is going to be like the cool toned or smoky row. So we have the first one is a matte, and it's Côte d'Azur. Côte d'Azur. Don't know what that means, but it's a beautiful gray. And then the next one's a shimmer, and it's a Bouche de Rhône. Bouche de Rhône. Kind of melted into that gray. My bad. But it's just a nice, soft shimmer. A little silvery, a little purple. And then the last one is Hot Alps. And it's not black. It's like a very smoky color. Grayish brown, I would call it, but it's a really nice way to deepen up the overall palette. So that's fits the Provence palette. And I'll give you one final look there. Look at how gorgeous that is. So pretty, right? Again, not a color story that I would normally be drawn to, but then you start swatching and playing with it, and it's just so gorgeous. Okay, swatch, swatch, sip. Just saying, swatch, swatch, sip. Also, like, shout out to my blush, you guys. It's so cute. I just filmed the best blushes at Sephora, so definitely, if you haven't watched the Vlogmas playlist, I'll link it, but just saying. I love blush. Okay, the next palette is Paradise Islands. Oh, I loved this packaging. It was just beautiful. This was designed on location, exploring the Pacific Paradise Islands, and this is going to support the Temana o Temoana and Tiki Toa Adopt a Coral. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love this so much. It's so pretty. It's just, you know, I'm a Pisces. Anytime I see water or turtles, I'm like dying. I love it. So that's what Paradise Islands looks like. Very colorful, and initially, again, it's just one of those things that maybe I wouldn't be drawn to, but when you start swatching, and I do have a video on this palette as well. Now, the setup of this palette is a little different, so I'm actually going to swatch going all the way across. So if you can see, you have all the lighter pinky, orangey shades there, greens, so I'll do it that way. We have a shimmer in Bora Bora. Super pretty. It kind of looks insignificant, but it's really not. The next one is a shimmer, and it's in the shade Sun. It's soft, but it's so pretty. You see that? It's so nice. The next one is a matte, and it's in the shade Sky. And again, I don't know how she does it, but it's like these shades that you would think would be super ashy on my skin tone or anybody deeper, and they're not. They're just so good. They're formulated well. Shimmer in the shade Moon. Nice orange shimmer there. So pretty. We have a matte orange, a light creamsicle orange in the shade Mana. Look how pretty that is. It looks kind of similar to the one in the FETE de Provence. And then the last shimmer on that row is Murea. Kind of like a hot pink shimmer. So that's the first row there. Okay, now we're going to the green row, and the first shimmer is in the shade Fish. Ooh, this is a very creamy shimmer in the shade Fish, kind of like a lime green shimmer. The next one's a matte, like a matte lime green in the shade Tiki. So pretty, Tiki. We have another shimmer in Turtle. That's the shade Turtle. Look at how pretty. It's got like that minty jade kind of shift. We have a matte green in the shade, what is this? Lizard. Shade Lizard. Just a nice, really nice solid green. Then we have a shimmer in the shade Dark. Not Dark, Shark. In the shade Shark. I hope I have enough room, you guys. And then the last one is a matte in the shade Stingray. And it's a really beautiful like turquoise or aquamarine. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my god, obsessed. Okay, going on to the last row, which is like the blue purple row. I don't think I'll have enough space, but we'll try. So the next one is Joaquin. So it kind of looks like the blue in the last one that we did, the 9-pan one, the Venice one, but not as intense. It's a really beautiful blue. Then we have the shade Ocean, which is more of a purple shimmer, but it's gorgeous. Look at that, the shade Ocean. It's funny because like on my finger, look at how blue it looks, but on my skin tone it looks different. So that's why I like the swatches, because we can kind of get a sense of what it would look like on our skin tone. And then the next one is a matte in the shade Dolphin. This one's really pretty. Look at how pretty that is. It's like a true baby blue. So gorgeous. And the last 3 shades are so pretty. Okay, the first one's Whale, and I think I'll try to swatch here. First one's Whale. It's like just a shimmery blue. Look at how pretty that is. The next one is Seashell. Look at how gorgeous that is. Like, I literally don't think I have another shade like that in my collection. Seashell. Like, I feel like we see lipsticks that color. Isn't that pretty? The next one we have is Tahiti, and the last shade, Tahiti. Beautiful. So that is Paradise Islands. Definitely a colorful palette, but it could be an amazing companion palette. You would probably need, like, you know, some blues or some purples or some matte browns. Black. In the video that I didn't use any other palettes. I just used this and I still came up with really beautiful looks. So I'll link that below. This is Paradise Islands. So one thing that I forgot to say is that for every palette that they launch, they also always include like a postcard. Almost like they're sending you a little note from wherever they're traveling, which is just adorable. Like, such attention to detail, you know? So I love that they go above and beyond. For this launch, the Paradise Islands launch, they also took like really cute pictures. They just had a baby last year, and so they took really cute pictures with the baby and the palette. So it's just nice that they kind of just let us into their life, you know? I think that sometimes we think of brand owners as like these people that are a little untouchable, but with them, like, they're so immersed into the beauty community, and they want to take you along with their travels, but they want to show you their life, and I just think that's so cute. Okay, we have 2 more left. The next one is Bosque Nuboso de Monteverde. This is the Monteverde Cloud Forest. I believe this is Colombia, but I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Colombia. But look at the colors. Oh my gosh, like, for anybody that loves colorful eyeshadows, this is like a dream. It's got like a cute little sloth there. You see that? Ugh, I love it. This color story. It is gorgeous. This is the Bosque de Monteverde. Come on, you guys. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. This one I think I'm also going to swatch going that way. We have the shade Hanging Bridges. Hanging Bridges. Such a pretty like aubergine, but it's got like that little pink flip. Do you guys see that flip in that? Such a pretty color. I deepened it up, but look at that pink flip in the midst of that lime green. So beautiful. Then we have Jaguar, which, I don't know, the name choice is odd since it's a bright orange, but it's Jaguar. That's the shade Jaguar. Beautiful. We have Glass Wings. Glass Wings. Really nice green. It's like a deep forest green. I mean, that's a look right there, you guys. Look at how pretty that is. That's gorgeous. The next one is Violet Sabruing. Violet Sabruing. Oh, I know I don't have this color anywhere else in my collection. Look at that. This is incredible. I have Cloud Canopy, another duochrome in this amazing shimmer formula. Look at that. It's also like a lavender flip. We've got some green, some like pewter color in there. It's so pretty. Then we have Orchid. I also do not have this color in my collection. Look at that. We have the shade Orchid. Next row, we have the shade Bromeliad. Bromeliad. It's also a pink, but you can see the difference. Obviously different. So gorgeous, but vibrant just the same. Then we have the shade River Trail. River Trail. Another duochrome shimmer. Look at how pretty that is. Then we have the shade Toucan. I always feel like I say that I love like blues and greens, but I don't know. I think I have a thing for yellow too. Because that yellow just like, oh my God, gets me so excited. That's the shade Toucan. We have the shade Wildlife Wonderland. Wildlife Wonderland. A really nice shimmer. You see that lime shimmer? That's the kind of shimmer formula that will look wet on your lids. Then we have Resplendent Quetzal. Resplendent Quetzal, which I thought that was the name for the currency in Guatemala, but I don't know. Is this Guatemala? I thought it was Colombia. I could be wrong. The next one is Magical Mist. They could be talking about the waterfalls that they visited. And it's like one of those topper shades. Doesn't have a lot of opacity. It's the last one there. But again, it will look like wet when you put it on the lids. So pretty. I have learned to really love those shades. So the last one that I just swatched, Magical Mist, just so you guys can see, that's what it looks like on the finger. And I just want you guys to understand, not a lot of opacity, but do you see like the shimmer that it brings to any look? It really is magical. And it's one of those things you have to understand the formulas you're working with so that you don't look at it and say, oh, there's no color payoff. No, it's doing exactly what it needs to do. And the last column, this is Green Spiny Lizard. I'll do it. I guess I have a little bit more room here. Green Spiny Lizard. I mean, that's a very descriptive name. Perfect green. The next one is Blue Morpho. Blue Morpho. That's a gorgeous color. Look at that undertone. Do you have another blue like that in your collection? I don't know. I know I don't. That's beautiful. Then we have Green Mountain. Green Mountain. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. And the last three shades, I'm gonna swatch here. Passiflora. I can't look at that. Oh, like to anybody that loves color, we scream when we see pigment like that. Look at how gorgeous. The undertones, everything. The next one is the Two-Toed Sloth. Such a grungy, beautiful shade. Beautiful shade. Look at that. Grunginess. Love it. And the last shade is the Green Vine Snake. And this is the Monteverde Cloud Forest. This one is beautiful and it's got grunginess and it's just, this one's gorgeous, you guys. If you can't tell, I really, really like this one. It's gorgeous. Love it. And here's one more look at the Monteverde palette. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The next one, this was the second to the last release for 2022, and it's the Hudson Valley palette. This one's gorgeous. I just actually did a Thanksgiving look on my TikTok and Instagram, so go check that out if you want a little inspo. But again, I have videos for most of these palettes, so I'll link them. And this is the Hudson Valley palette. Look at how pretty, you guys. Oh, I love it. Such earthy tones, obviously very beautiful for the fall. I'll go back to doing 3 at a time because I think those color stories make sense. Now, this is like if you ever take a walk or a trip to the Hudson Valley, what they did is they actually put together like a whole little itinerary of the places that they visited. And if you wanted to go, you'd have like ideas of where to go to experience the Hudson Valley River, which I thought was amazing. The first one is Cider House. I think that we're going to try to do that with our kids next year. For fall. I just think it'd be beautiful. We have visited the East Coast quite a bit and taken road trips through Pennsylvania and to New York, so we really enjoy that, but I think it'd be really beautiful. The next one's Great Pumpkin Patch. This palette's so good, you guys. It's good for every day, but it's also good for those earthy tones. Look at that. Peanut Butter. Peanut Butter. The shade is Great Pumpkin Patch. The next one's Oktoberfest. Oh. My heart, it just screams. How is it this good? How? It's so pretty, you guys. Next one is Fall Festival. So beautiful, like a really nice muted orange. The next one is Apple Picking, which is just, I mean, just like the Venice palette. That's why I'm telling you, the Venice palette is so good. If you don't want all these colors, but you want a little bit, it's got another amazing red like the Venice palette, Apple Picking. The next one is Wine Harvest. And like, oh my God, could you have a better shade for wine? Incredible. Look at how pretty that is. The perfect fall color story. Next, we're swatching the middle row, which is the shimmer row. So although this palette is kind of in that midi size, we've got 15 shades, but most of them, 12 of them are mattes, and then the middle center row is shimmers. So we have the shade Corn Maze, and all these shimmers, whew, get out of their way because they are mighty and opaque. Look at how pretty that is. The next one is Foliage Trail. Beautiful foliage trail. The next one is Leaf Peeping. I really don't know what that means, but whatever. It's gorgeous. Leaf Peeping. Now we're getting into the grungy greens, and we're going into Farmer's Market. It's just so good. Every single palette, you guys, this is what we get. Like, just amazing, consistent quality. The next one is Mountain Hike. This one's like, I don't know, probably one of my favorite. It's like a very mossy, but like subdued green. Look at that. So perfect. The next one is Bed and Breakfast. This row in general just speaks to my heart. I love grungy tones. That one's Bed and Breakfast. Okay, and the last row is like the cool tone browns. This first shade is Ghost Tour. Ghost Tour. That's what it looks like there. It looks white or like a cream color, but it's a cream color. The next one's Apple Cider Donut. When I saw the name of this shade, I was like, what? An apple cider donut? I love it. It kind of looks like nothing on my skin, but it's a good like blender shade, you know, to diffuse another deeper shade. And then the last one is Farm to Table. I'm actually going to be in Philly next week. Maybe I should try to seek out an apple cider donut. But there's the Farm to Table. And this is Hudson Valley palette. Absolutely stunning. Wow, 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 wow. This is so gorgeous, you guys. And you can put together like a really nice everyday look. Also add a little pop of color. That's what I love about this palette specifically. It is just something that you could probably use all year. I feel like Fire and Ice is as well. Whistler's Lodge. I mean, there's a lot of options there. So on this one, on the Hudson Valley, remember I told you they put like an itinerary together of what they did. So it's here. We also got a postcard, right? So beautiful. But we got the itinerary, or like places that you could visit or activities to do. And then this was so cute, you guys. It says Nomad's Guide to Hudson Valley Foliage Trail, right? That's what it looks like. But we've got a little sticker there, and it says lift here. And when you lift it, it smells like apple cinnamon. I mean, the level of detail that they get into is also something that's so impressive because, you know, in a beauty community where we're always like more, like launch after launch after launch. What I appreciate about Nomad Cosmetics is A, they were there. They're not speaking of what images they Googled, they were actually there and they live that lifestyle. But in addition to that, like there's no detail spared. Like they think of everything and they really want to make it an experience for you, which I really appreciate as somebody that loves travel. So I wanted to share that. Okay, so what did you think of all those swatches? Oh my God, you guys, literally like, so I got into makeup and then I started my channel at the beginning-ish, no, like the middle of 2020 when everybody was just bored out of their mind. And when I discovered indie, like that was one of the most therapeutic things for me is like I would sit on FaceTime with Kara or my sister or anybody. My sister would come over and we would just sit there and swatch. It'd be like midnight, we'd be sipping wine and we would just swatch. So it's just calming, it's just nice. And then it also helps you appreciate like, you know, the texture and the color story, and then you start thinking of like different combinations, whatever. Now, I'm so lucky that I actually ended up being able to meet one of the founders of Nomad Cosmetics. We have a really beautiful friendship, and because of that, I just feel like it makes me want to support brands like that more because the quality's there. They're amazing people. And another thing that I like about her is like they take feedback really well because sometimes not everything will be a glowing review. And I've seen people kind of trash their brand sometimes because they didn't like the color story, whatever. And she's like, yeah, I mean, we're not for everybody and we understand that. And so I just love that. Like, just be cool, you know, like just realize that everybody does something very well, and they do indie and color very well. Okay, so I mentioned that during my swatch video, or when I was swatching the palettes, she did text me back and she told me about the sales, and so I just wanted to go through those with you. They are on her Instagram, so you can go check that out as well. They had a huge Cyber Black Friday sale, and I'm so sorry guys, I couldn't get it up in time, but let me share what the December promotions are. The shipping deals, so December 1st through the 24th, they're going to do free US shipping on orders over $10. So that's like literally nothing. You could buy 2 highlighters and you'd meet that. So you get free shipping, flat rate, international shipping for Canada. So, okay, so they'll do free US shipping December 1st through the 24th, and then they'll do a flat rate international shipping. So for Canada, it will be $5, and for worldwide, it's $10. So it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can expect to not pay any more than $10 if you're outside of the US or Canada. So I think that's great, especially with how shipping rates have gotten. And then there is a Green Monday sale. Green Monday? When is that? Let me Google real quick. Okay, I had to Google real quick. I've never heard of Green Monday, but Green Monday is always the second Monday of December. This year it's December 12th. It's called Green Monday because that's literally the last day to order stuff online so that you can guarantee that it will be there in time for Christmas. So it's Monday, December 12th. They are going to be having a sale that day. And that Monday, December 12th, they're going to have 30% off the Iceland palette. This is the very first palette that I ever tried from the brand, and if you don't have this and you like the color story, I would highly, highly recommend this palette. I love it so much. I actually just filmed with it recently because I wanted to try it again. Like, it's been a while and I just fell in love with it all over again. So a great, great deal. Usually palettes this size are going to retail for $39 to $43. So if you get 30% off of that, that's an amazing way to try the brand. There's also a palette or a quad called Studio 54. I don't have it, you guys, but it's retiring in December. So if you've been looking at it, if you like the color story, I would suggest picking it up because they're retiring it after December. But those are the sales that are going on for December. She did make a comment like, we've been so slammed with Black Friday and everything else and all the releases and travel that we kind of want to take it easy because we have a baby now and we want to enjoy December with our baby. But that's obviously very important to me too. So I still think that you could get really amazing, amazing palettes if you've never tried the brand. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite indie brands. I just think the quality's there. Just quickly to like name off a few, like another favorite indie brands are going to be Unearthly Cosmetics and Adept Cosmetics. Like those 3 brands just kind of stand out to me. They are incredible, incredible quality. Now there's one more, you guys, and this is one that's not as well known, but she's been doing pretty well on Etsy, and it's Saints, Angels, and Sinners. I have 2 palettes from them. I think I bought the first one and the second one was gifted. There is a video with that palette coming up, or you would have seen it already on my Vlogmas, but it is gorgeous. Like their quality is really good. And so, for those of you that know indie, which I don't know it that well, I know what they send me or what I buy on my own, but there is private label, which means that, you go to a manufacturer lab and you ask them to make some shades for you, and then you pick the ones that you'd like, but they're already pre-made, right? That's why a lot of indie brands have the similar shades. With brands like Adept Cosmetics and Nomad Cosmetics, they actually do go through a lab, of course. They will formulate some of the shadows. Like they are very, very involved in the shade selection. So when you see a duochrome have a little shift of hot pink or whatever, it's not by accident. They formulated the shadow that way. And so, it just kind of makes you think like, oh, okay, they went that extra step. It probably means that the palette's coming at a higher price point for them as the brand owner, but because of that, they are a little more unique in the indie beauty space. So that's totally Nomad Cosmetics. So indie brands to watch out for. I mean, I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out, but honestly, I'm just going to go with what sticks in my mind. And that's going to be Nomad Cosmetics, Adept Cosmetics, Unearthly Cosmetics, and this brand, Saint Angels and Sinners, one to watch out for. I'm telling you, their stuff is so, so good. Okay, so thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is always fun. I hope you enjoyed the swatch party. I hope that you got some good information. If you've been looking at some Nomad palettes, I highly recommend. I think you will be absolutely impressed with their quality, and I think that you will love it. It will add something different to your collection. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys had a good time. I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with a friend that you think might like it. I'll see you guys later. Bye!